Broadcasting live from the Business RadioX studios in Atlanta, it's time for Charitable Georgia. Brought to you by Bees Charitable Pursuits and Resources. We put the fun in fundraising. For more information, go to beescharitablepursuits.com. That's BEES charitablepursuits.com. Now, here's your host, Brian Pruitt.
Good, fabulous Friday morning. It's another fabulous Friday with three more fabulous guests. First of all, I want to wish everybody a happy St. Patrick's Day, and also go Owls as they go dancing today at 12:40 playing Xavier. So hopefully they can be another Cinderella story. So today's show is pretty cool. It could be hot as well, depending on what you need. But we've got Dr. Fahrenheit, Nurse Celsius, and their office manager, Elisa Lewis, here with us today. So, guys, welcome to the show. Glad you guys can make it. And if this is the first time listening to Charitable Georgia, the idea behind this show is about positive things happening in the community. And we've got a story here that's incredible. One that's it's a miracle story. It's an overcoming story. And Randy, you served in the Marines, so thank you for your service. But you are a survivor from a traumatic brain injury. Can you share your story with us?
Unfortunately, on June 24th, 2018, I was knocked off of a Gold Wing motorcycle off of Bell's Ferry in Woodstock, Georgia. Threw me 200 feet. I was in a coma. They took out my spleen, kidney, and gallbladder. Fortunately, the VA takes care of their vets, so they put me through a recovery, and I'm able today to walk upright and speak English.
Well, that's awesome. Glad that you are here. I mean, you're obviously here for a reason. I mean, Amen. That's just, God's got, different people he uses, different ways he uses people, and you're obviously a tremendous story. So Laura, as Nurse Celsius to Dr. Fahrenheit and his significant other, that's got to be very traumatic for you as well. Share your part of the story.
That gets me emotional every time. Like he said, he wasn't expected to live. They had a hard time stopping the bleeding, and but by the grace of the Lord, he came back full around. Now he's working, and but yeah, it was tough. It was tough, but I have all the faith in the world in him and in God, and here we are today. 5 years later. It's just amazing to me. He's amazing to me.
So if somebody's out there listening and maybe going through something like this, or they've got somebody that they know and love that's going through something similar, can you just share a little bit with them, give them some hope and inspiration?
I would advise on getting support. It's really hard for the caregiver. It's probably harder on us than it is on them. So I would recommend getting support. There's lots of groups out there, for loved ones to understand what they're going through. So that would be what I would recommend.
Randy, I know you said you served in the Marines. When did you serve?
March 83 to March of 86. Full time. I served sometime in the reserve. I was in 0341 was my MOS, and that's a 60 millimeter mortars, death from afar. When I got out, I couldn't find a job in that avenue, so I went to Technical Career Institute for my HVAC schooling, and from there I've been doing ever since.
Awesome. Well, again, that's an incredible story that, obviously, especially for veterans, some people come out and they've got, PTSD and they've got other things, and you took the step further to do something about it and went to school to get your certification, and now you guys got your own business. How long have y'all been in business now?
22 years.
22 years. That's awesome. So share a little bit about Dr. Fahrenheit. Share about your business.
So we started, like I said, 22 years ago. I was construction background, and Randy was working for another company, and we decided it would be cool if we went into business together, which we did, and we raised our kids on it. It was very small. It was just myself, Randy, and a helper, occasional helper. So we did that. After his accident, we shut down for a few years. I'm an agent. I'm an insurance agent. So I did that full time. And then, a year and a half ago, I prayed and prayed and prayed on what to do with Dr. Fahrenheit. And I felt like it was the right thing to do to open us up, give Randy a reason to get up every day. I mean, this is what he loves. He loves fixing things. He loves customers. And so, so we reopened. We brought Lisa in. She brings a lot of experience from the company she was with before. So I think we make a mighty team, the three of us.
Share a bit about the name, because I think it's really cool. How did you guys come about your name?
I just thought it was cool. Dr. Fahrenheit, you're working on, so that's how I came up with that name.
And then you're Nurse Celsius. So.
Nurse Celsius. That's a play on that. We have a lot of fun with this whole thing with the doctor nurse, and even our maintenance agreements is Doc's Wellness Checks. So we kind of play a lot on the medical. We have a lot of fun with that. But when it comes to taking care of customers, we're serious about that. But everything else.
You obviously take care of your employees too, because just before we got on the air, I saw a post from you, Lisa, that yesterday, right, was your year anniversary with them?
Well, I kind of just started in March. We really don't know what my start date is, because I kind of just started helping out, and it just kind of led to full-time employment. So, yeah, I got some flowers yesterday from Dr. Fahrenheit and Nurse Celsius, and I was very surprised because I knew my husband hadn't sent them. So, so it was a nice surprise to get flowers.
Well, they say if you don't have happy employees, your customers aren't going to be happy. So it's awesome you guys take care of everybody in that. So Lisa, give us a little bit of background of you. I know you and I network a lot together. We see each other 2 or 3 times a day on a Wednesday. But share a little of your story for folks that can learn about you a little bit.
Well, I've been in the heating and air industry for about 14 years now. My boss passed away December 2021, and so March 2022 is when I started working with Dr. Fahrenheit. And I didn't know if I was ready to go to another heating and air company, but I knew that it was now or never. So I just went in and gave it all I had. It was kind of hard because I was still mourning for somebody I'd worked with for 13 years, and I worked out of his home. So, that was an adjustment, but we've gone through a year now, and we're doing great. And, I love it.
One thing that I think is special about you talk about, being passionate and helping your clients, but especially like seniors and veterans and all that. And, so why is that important? I mean, obviously, there are people out there in business who just don't give a darn, but why is it important for you to make sure your people are taken care of?
Well, I learned kindness at a very young age. I had a cousin that was born with spina bifida when I was 7. So we all learned to take care of her. She was the center of our world. I watched my aunt advocate for her. Whatever she needed, she got. So she kind of not worked for a charity, but I saw her work for her daughter. And that instilled a lot of the way I feel today. I know that she went into a place to get a wheelchair for my cousin when she started growing out of her wheelchair. And there wasn't a large organization that would not help us. My aunt went to the Lions Club, which is the smaller place, and told them her story. And just somebody that heard the story while she was there donated the money anonymously. So I've never forgot that.
Awesome. Well, Laura, so can give some people advice, or Randy, you guys give some advice for somebody. Why is it important to keep your HVAC on a check regular basis?
Well, maintenance is critical in maintaining efficiency. We don't make cold air. We remove heat from the existing air. So the outside unit needs to be cleaned periodically so it can extract the heat out of the home and recirculate back to the indoor coil to create cold air to stay comfortable in your home. Air conditioning is also a dehumidification, so what they refer to as latent heat, which is the moisture removal, is imperative. When
it comes to the maintenance, I know filters is a big thing, changing the filters out. What other I mean, you mentioned a little bit, but what other things do they need to do, or you guys do for when you go in to do maintenance on a existing unit?
So what, like he was saying, we clean the coils. I mean, the outside condenser needs to stay clean. We just make sure the line's clear, so you don't get a clog and it back up, which will, anyway, that's a bunch of technical stuff I was about to go to.
Go ahead.
But, well, we just make sure that everything's running correctly, and it's very important to get maintenances because it prolongs the life of your system. Just like anything else. So we change out the filters. We make sure everything's clean. The connections are right. There's not any little animals or any little insects in your units. But yeah, it's very important.
How often should somebody have some maintenance done?
We recommend twice a year, but if you have pets and things like that, you probably should change your filter more than that.
Is it particular? You said twice a year. Is there a particular time?
Yes, there is. So we do them in the spring before summer, and then we do them in fall before winter.
And why is that? I'm just curious because I mean, I like learning things. So why is it particular those 2 times of year because it seems like that's what everybody does them. So,
well, because you want to make sure everything's going to work for the Georgia heat. You know, if we go out there and we notice when the capacitors aren't where they should be, we need to change it out, make sure you have enough refrigerant to stay cool. So it's important to make sure everything's done before you're going to need it.
Well, and in Georgia, you know, it's kind of weird. We can have all 4 seasons in one day. So,
yes.
I know. So I'm sure you guys are extremely busy, but you're about to get to your extremely busy season.
Yes.
So, let's go ahead and share this because I know you guys are actually looking for some help.
Yes.
Share what you're looking for. Maybe somebody listening might be able to see about what you need.
So we're looking for a senior technician, someone with 2 or more experience with HVAC. Someone that's really good with customers that, you know, really takes pride in their work. So that's what we're looking for. And it could be a woman. We're okay with that.
All right. There you go. Yes. Nothing wrong with that. So I have to ask, Laura, you and Lisa, I see quite a bit. Randy, I see you once in a while, but I know you're busy most of it. But you guys do a lot of networking. I share all the time just what some powerful experiences of networking are, but in your experiences, Laura, we'll start with you. How has networking helped you?
I think it's helped me in my business growth, my personal growth. I build relationships with a lot of people that I've come to know through networking. So, you know, it went past business, getting your name out, being familiar in your community, to building strong relationships, very supportive people, and we all take care of each other and try to help each other. So it's been amazing for me.
Lisa, how about you?
Well, I reluctantly started networking about 6 weeks ago, but when I saw that Laura was going under houses with her husband to do repairs, I thought, well, I guess I can network. You know, what's the worst? You know, so
you got the easy job.
Yeah, I think I got the easy job, and I've grown to love it. It's really helped me personally. It's helped me business wise, and like Laura said, you just meet people. I mean, I was looking at my contacts the other day and all my texts, and half of them were from people that I networked with, and I thought that was pretty cool because in 6 months I've made some pretty good relationships. Yeah,
you know, it's more than just business when you network. You build a community. Mm-hmm. When you're out there, and those become your little village. You know, getting the support that you need for whatever's going on in your life at the moment. So, I wanted to ask this: how far out do you guys service?
You want to?
Well, I've said I've been to Adairsville all the way up to Union City, but ultimately, you know, we just like to keep it within a 35-mile radius of the house.
And you guys are based in Woodstock, correct?
Yes.
Yes, we're in Woodstock.
All right. You got some jokes, obviously. So.
Well, yeah, but I'm holding back.
Yes. You can share if you want. The FCC doesn't listen, so you're good.
It's okay.
You guys are one of my deluxe sponsors for a thing that I'm doing all year long, rotating charities in the Bartow County area for a trivia night. We just had it this past Wednesday night for the Pettit Preserve, so thank you for being a part of that. I want to ask all 3 of you this. So, why is it important for you guys to not only be a part of the community, but to give back?
I strongly believe that we have to take care of one another. And if God blesses us to go into people's homes, this is what, you know, they trust us, and we're going to make sure we take care of them. And just like Lisa, we have a passion for our veterans and seniors. Everyone should afford, to be comfortable in their home. So I probably got off what the question was.
No, you answered. You answered.
But I think it's really important for all of us. To take care of one another. I feel very strongly about that.
Randy, why is it important for you?
While in the service, I was in second world countries, and they aren't as fortunate as us in America. So, I know other countries obligate their individuals to serve a couple of years at least in their service. And, it instills discipline, respect, honor, courage. But seeing those second world countries, it kind of just enlightened me how fortunate we are to be Americans. And so, if there's anything I can do, we service vets, but we service civilians also. And, everybody's
slimy civilians,
right?
That's what they brainwashed in their thinking while we were in the Corps. But, I got to thinking, it's like, well, wait a minute, I have sisters and my mother, they're civilians. So how are they slimy? So it's kind of a brainwashing that the Marine Corps, instills in you, to follow their regiment.
So you want to give back to the community because of what you've seen?
Yes. We're blessed to be Americans, and, anything that I can do to,
just help others.
Yeah, I'll do. And, God blessed me with the technical abilities, and so I utilize them whenever possible.
Awesome. Lisa, what about you?
Well, I love the trivia nights, and the main reason I love the trivia nights, my first thought when I saw the schedule is we're representing a different charity each month. And I really love that because I love all the charities. I want to help them all. So this gives us a chance to help everybody. And there's some of the charities that I wasn't even familiar with. So I get in there and, kind of learn what they do and what they do for the community, so that maybe we can help them some other time.
She's really excited too because they won this past Wednesday.
I heard.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And they didn't even cheat.
We did not cheat. No.
Right? No, it's great. I'll share this. So we've done 3 months so far with 3 different charities. January's was Footprints on the Heart, which again, if people don't know about them, they go into the hospitals in Northwest Georgia working with families who lost the infants. Between the trivia, the silent auction, and they did a little 50-50 raffle while they were there. We raised $1,233 for them that night. In February, we did Good Neighbor Homeless Shelter. And between the trivia and the silent auction, we did $1,015 for them. This past Wednesday was the Pettit Preserve, which is an environmental preserve in Bartow County. And again, between the silent auction and the trivia, we did $1,145 for them, which I'll be presenting the check to them in just a little while. And this past month, it's building every month. We had 60 people the first two months. 58 tickets sold the first month, 63 the second month. We sold 91 tickets for this past month, and 70 people came. So it's growing and growing. Awesome. and it's for reasons for you guys of helping like this that we can do this. So thank you again for everything that you're doing. All right, we're going to kind of go a little back a little bit and talk about just some, because we got some time and I don't want to end real quick. So I want to learn a bit more about each of you. Randy, you talked about, serving for us. Are you from Georgia?
No, sir. I'm from Connecticut. So I found out that I'm referred to as a damn Yankee.
Yes.
A Yankee is somebody that comes here and goes back. I came here and stayed.
There you go. There you go. Oh, I guess they'd say I'm one too, but I'm technically from the Midwest. I'm from Ohio, and I've never figured out how that's the Midwest. But,
right.
So what part of Connecticut are you from?
Bridgeport, Connecticut.
Okay.
Exit 32 off 95, I-95.
All right. Anywhere near Bristol?
No.
Just Bristol's because where ESPN is. That's why I only know Bristol.
Okay. No, that's hours away from Bridgeport.
Okay. And how long have you lived in Georgia?
30 years.
Okay. All right, so you're definitely a transplant.
Yeah, I was told by friends that are coming to visit here on the 31st that I have a Southern accent. So
Southern Connecticut accent.
Yeah, I was like, what? Yeah, so, yeah.
You know, it was funny when we moved here from Ohio, I was 7 years old. I tried to practice my Southern accent and it didn't work. I was sitting in the living room going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, but it never stuck. So I guess you can't just practice that. So, no. Laura, are you a Peach, Georgia Peach?
I am. I was born and raised in the metro Atlanta area. So yeah, I'm a Decatur girl. I moved here in 92. I have 5 children and 7 grandchildren.
Wow.
So
they definitely keep you busy among your business. You guys are definitely running around.
Well, thank goodness they're older. So now I'm able to, crawl spaces and attics with Randy.
What kind of critters have you encountered?
Oh, I've seen things that I don't want to talk about. And I don't want to see again.
Right? There you go. Well, you've told a little bit of background. So you used to work you were a Hooter girl, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I mean, the people in my age grade, right, that when Hooters came out, it was the thing.
Yes.
Right? Place to go.
Yes. In Stone Mountain, I was a Hooter girl for years. So, yeah. How did you know that?
Because you told me when we were talking. Yeah, you told me that.
Okay, thanks for letting everyone else know.
Nothing wrong with that.
I'm trying to be taken seriously. I'm not just a beautiful face.
You can be taken seriously and be a beautiful face, so you're good. You're good. And are you still doing the insurance?
I thought we were going to ask me if I was still a Hooter girl.
No, we already know that answer.
Yeah, I don't do insurance anymore.
Okay.
But, I mean, I'm still licensed, but no.
You got any nuggets for anybody on the insurance? Because there are some people out there who take advantage on insurance too. And then, just what kind of nugget can you give somebody?
I look over your policies every year. Look over everything every year. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Lisa, you are a Georgia Peach as well, correct?
Yes, I am.
And you have a classmate that's pretty famous, right? We talked about this.
Oh, yeah, very cool.
School.
Yeah.
Yeah, better known as
Cletus T.
Was he like that in high school that he is now?
He was funny in high school, yes.
Yeah. Y'all went to high school where?
In Cass High.
All right, so
Cartersville, Georgia.
So you are from Cartersville.
I was born and raised in Bartow County, yes.
Very rare that you have somebody still where they're born and raised.
Mm-hmm.
And she's clearly been practicing her Southern accent, as have I.
For years.
Yes.
Well, I think we've got it nailed.
I think we do.
Yeah, because you're from where, Stone?
Pensacola, Florida, but there's 2 Floridas. There's Pensacola. I mean, we could throw a rock from my front porch to the Alabama line. So
right.
The culture is South Georgia,
Right.
Alabama, and then
Right.
there's that Florida that's the north again after you hang a right.
That's right.
So you are from the deep South.
I am very much from the deep South.
Yes, there you go.
And my daddy calls me a Yankee because I moved up north to Atlanta.
That's true.
It's funny. I have a sister from Sarasota, Florida, and she moved up here for a year and went back because she said it was too cold here. So I guess, like I said, I have all 4 seasons. So depending on when you are, it can get a little cold. So, all right. So let me ask you this, Lisa. You started networking and you came to the Cartersville Business Club.
Yes.
In my experience, I've done networking now for about 29 years in Metro Atlanta area. Different networking groups, different business clubs, chambers. And I will have to say, of all the ones I've been a part of, the Cartersville Business Club is very, very different from all of them. I know you're big in the Woodstock Business Club, but share your experience a little bit about the Cartersville Business Club and share when we meet, if you don't mind.
We meet every Wednesday at Unity Grounds in Cartersville, Georgia. And it's at 8 o'clock. Well, we start networking at 8 o'clock. The actual meeting starts at 8:30 and promptly over at 9:30. So I'm really enjoying doing the networking there. It's a special group for me just mainly because it's my hometown. And although most of the people are not from Bartow County that come there, they feel like family too.
It is interesting that, we average now probably between 45 and 50, right, every week. And I would venture to guess that 50% of them, would you say, is probably not from the Bartow County area?
I would say probably 50% or more.
And,
yes.
and that just goes to show you, everybody welcomes them. It's like it is a community. There are some other ones that have been around that I've been at there's some cliques, and it's just kind of uncomfortable. And you've now jumped aboard on the leadership team and helping with memberships.
Yes.
So share, what does that mean to being a member of the Cartersville Business Club?
Well, once you're a member, I personally want to use that directory as, to give, leads to people. I want to, I just think it's a great thing to be in the directory because you're going to get a lot of exposure.
Can you share what the directory is? What does it mean to be? What the cost, if you can remember, what the cost for the membership, and what does it get you?
The basic cost is $75, and it gives you a spot in the directory. And $150, I know that gives you more posts on social media and the actual Cartersville Business Club page.
Right, and you can be a featured member of the month for that.
Yes,
where you're on the front page of the home page of the website. So, Laura, you've been a part of the Woodstock Business Club. Share a little bit about the Woodstock Business Club, when they meet and that stuff.
We meet on Thursday mornings at 8:30 at Reformation, downtown Woodstock, and it's $50 a year. So the same thing, you have a featured member every month. We have socials the third Thursday of every month. But it varies. I think sometimes we're over 100 people in
I was going to say, Simon, I've been there. I know one time that was there was about 95 people there. And Stone, you go, so.
Oh, yeah, I go every Thursday, and we got to raise our fees, right?
I think so.
I can see that
I'm
right
thinking
now.
that we need to do that.
Because it's certainly worth it. But I love going there, and it's a big group, and it's great to see everybody. We often will have a business discussion, or someone will present, and, of course, anytime there's free food. So whoever's presenting will often provide like a breakfast or something like that. But then for me, and I'm sure it's been the same for you, where you really get tremendous leverage and get to build marvelous relationships is, after the meeting, you usually have some kind of like a one-on-one, where you can really get to sit down. You can go back in the backyard of Reformation and have a coffee, or, as quick as they serve it, I'm having a beer. And you can really get to know somebody. So you get the wide exposure, but you get the more intimate relationship. And I love everything about that Woodstock Business Club.
Yeah, and then the Cartersville Business Club, one of the reasons we do that is because we do a little bit more. We have a once a month luncheon, which is coming up this Tuesday, where we bring in speakers. It's called the Learning Table, and we help small businesses on all different aspects. And this Tuesday, we're bringing in Greg Burkhalter, who's the LinkedIn guy, who's going to do a power hour on LinkedIn on how to utilize that to help your business. And he travels nationally for this, so it's a thing. There's only 10 seats left. So, if you want a ticket, it's on Eventbrite. Look up the Learning Table, and you can get a ticket. Better do it quick, because, like I said, there's only 10 seats left. So, so I like to share that, the power of networking. I've said this a lot, Stone, is, I learn about everybody's story from the networking, right? Everybody that I've had on this show, I've met with networking and had one-to-ones and established those relationships. And that's where I hear these stories. And it's amazing to me. And I know that's what sells, that mainstream media is nothing but negative, which is crazy to me. That's what sells, but you don't have to look very far for positive stories, right? 3 incredible stories, 1 amazing story sitting here, and let's share all that. So, Lisa, I'm going to ask you again about Wednesday nights, because obviously you have a good time. So it's not just about coming in and helping. It is a good time, right? Share a little bit about Wednesday nights with the once a month trivia, if you don't mind, because you come every month. Just share, being a participant, share about that.
It's just a lot of fun. You get a lot of laughs in. You get to eat a lot of good food, pizza and wings, so you can't beat that. And then you just get to meet a lot of other people that you may not meet at networking groups because they, have jobs or something and are somewhere else. But yeah, it's just really a good time.
I hear they have a pretty good host.
They have a great host. Brian is the best.
I'm going to shout out to Dan from St. Angelo's, because, again, you guys are one of my sponsors, and he's helping me help you, because of the fact that your guys' banners and signs and up aren't just up the night we do trivia. They're up all year long. So people get to come in and they can see.
We've worked on that roof. And so we walked in and Randy was really surprised.
Yeah. That's awesome.
To see that.
So I was going to ask you that. You guys also do commercial? You guys do
light commercial?
Light commercial. Mm-hmm. Okay. Explain what light commercial is.
The license allows me to work on 5 tons of air conditioning or 175,000 BTUs of heat. So it's referred to as a restricted license. And then there's universal where you can work on anything.
Okay.
So
all right. So if somebody out there is wanting to reach out to you guys for your services, how can they do that?
They can do it by calling our office, 770-926-6773, or they can contact us through our website, www.drfahrenheithvac.com.
Anything that you guys got coming up specifically that you want to share about? Is there any kind of...
We're doing our spring checks.
There you go.
It's time to call and make your appointment. We're also running a special, a spring special, early bird special, for $69.99. We come out and take care of, make sure everything's going to run for you when you're going to need it in the heat. So yeah.
That the number you gave too, is that also the same number somebody wants to call if they're wanting to talk to you about the position you have open?
yes.
Okay. All right. Lisa, I want to start this with you. I like to kind of get a nugget, quote or a word for somebody to live now to the end of 2023 and beyond with. So share your wisdom with us, Lisa. Just give us a word, a positive quote, a nugget, what you want to let you.
Let's just be kind. I mean, it's 2023. We should all love each other. My word is just be kind.
Randy, how about you? What you want to share with everybody? What's a piece of nugget or positive thing you'd like to share?
Call before, not after.
There you go.
That is golden.
There you go.
Fix it right the first time.
Yes.
Well, that could go for anything, honestly. Right? Laura, how about you?
Words of wisdom.
Yeah, just something positive somebody can take to live today on and beyond.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of something clever, but nothing's popping in my head. Just keep smiling. Just keep smiling. Keep positive. It always works out one way or the other. Count your blessings. That's what I would say.
I thought you were going to start saying just keep swimming.
I almost did.
Right? That'd have been perfect. So, all right, guys, I really appreciate you coming out this morning and sharing your story. And again, if somebody was out there listening to this, you heard Randy's story, believe that there is hope, there is inspiration. Don't give up. Persevere. And let's remember, let's all be positive. Let's be charitable.